Neil has the same thing.
That's what I have, those two, yeah, those are the two things I have.
Okay.
The only thing different Neil has is he has the signed one from the association, or I think we.
No, I gave it to Laura.
So Laura's got, we only had one signed one, it was just signed before this meeting, so we weren't able to make copies of that. So Laura has the one signed one that she can make copies of. But the agreement that's sitting there in front of you has been signed by the association, along with a letter stating that they approve.
This one's been signed.
Okay.
Gentlemen, what did you say the expected starting price would be?
We didn't.
You didn't. Do you have any ballpark or no? Not sure yet?
Whatever the builder can get.
I'm sure it'll be whatever the market will bear.
And that didn't come up in the association with with their discussion? They weren't concerned with that?
They told us that recently there was a home that sold for 200 and a home that sold for 225. But, you know, comparable sales, you have to look at the details.
Sure.
And find out. And there's usually a little premium for new home construction and customization.
What a lot of people don't know is when we talk about Allen Edwin Homes, and you know this was even new to me, I never heard of Allen Edwin Homes, but surprisingly enough, they are the largest residential builder in Michigan, but they have concentrated their efforts on the west side of the state. So they're kind of new to the east side of the state, but that being said, they're still the largest by unit, they're the largest builder in Michigan.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ms. Brandian?
They have a nice website if you wanted to look at it.
Is it just Edwin Allen Homes or?
Is that
Allen, Edwin.
Allen?
Were you done, Rick?
Yeah.
Okay. I think this came before the planning commission. We talked about it at great length, and a lot of the residents were there. And they are happy that the homes are coming in, and they had some questions, and they were all addressed by the developer and the attorney. And these conditions are all outlined in the letter that we approved, that the planning commission approved. All these conditions. Is that right, Laura? Yeah. So besides the contract, we have a letter to them that is on record with the planning commission that all these conditions be met, which they had gone over and above. Sounds like
Those are the 5 conditions.
those are the 5 conditions.
The amendment is just for the elevation of home styles. So
Right.
we wanted to make sure the homeowners were protected and the
That's
home
fine.
development wasn't
Yes.
affected.
There's no, the new elevations and everything is comparable to the product that's there today.
Yes.
And so there's no cheapening of the subdivision in any way just to get sales.
No, and actually I stayed after and talked to some of the residents and showed them the book, and they were all very happy, and they were looking at them and they're saying, oh, this is just like mine, and this is like mine, but the porch is bigger, or, you know, so yes, they're very comparable, and that was brought up.
Well, I'd like an opportunity to read this, and I don't know if anybody else on the council wants it, but.
Well, we'll take, if you'd like making copies, that'd be great.
I'll
Thank you, sir.
be happy to, if you don't mind hearing the machine going.
Not at all.
Laura's gonna make copies.
And obviously,
All right.
if they want to call me tomorrow before the meeting,
All right.
with any questions.
Okay.
They'll
True.
do that, you know, more brownfield.
Also, if I may, Madam Chair?
Ms. Brandian?
Yeah, also they were talking too about, you know, the time is of the essence here because there's only so many days left in the building season and things like that. So hopefully, you know, if we have any more questions, we can ask before the meeting tomorrow so they can get started.
You can either ask them or call me if there's any questions on it.
Okay.
Lot sizes and all that, they stay the same, just
Yes.
just elevations and.
That's part of the master deed.
Yeah, the lots have already, they're not amending the plat, so the lots are what the lots are. So, thinking just what's going up on each lot.
One of my
Mr. Stapleton?
concerns when that whole project started was a lot of that is built on fill. There was a huge reservoir there. How's the infrastructure as far as the streets and so forth holding up? Is there any
Well,
settling or?
well, I mean, there's no heaving, curbs are in good shape, it's holding up well. So they must have put in engineered fill and compressed it. But I mean, it's been around for long enough.
Yeah, then suspect you'd be seeing some if it was
Heaving would show up by now.
basements cracking, anything like that?
I don't know about the homes that have been constructed. We haven't really told owners that are in there, but the infrastructure seems to be holding up well.
Okay, anything else? Then we're all set with Neil and
Thank you.
moving on.
Sure.
Okay,
So
thank
tomorrow
you.
we just show up at 7, and if there's any other questions, we can address them then.
Yes,
Great.
yes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
If not, someone contacting you before that, I guess, or contacting Neil.
Yeah, but,
And
very
maybe
fair.
if
Mayor?
council has any questions and need to direct, after review, direct them to Neil.
Okay.
Everybody has contact information, if not, let us know. We'll appreciate it.
Do you have a card?
Yeah.
Last time I saw they were jammed down here.
I drive home late these days after surgery, so the lighter the load. But I can see that I can.
You know, you haven't given me a card in 20 years. do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We're happy that you're here and looking
Thanks.
forward to it. Thank you. Okay,
I can just look you up on the internet.
I believe we have a couple of HR items. Did you need to go? Okay,
I found it. I knew I had.
Never mind.
thank you. She's a bit of a pain.
I know.
Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Sheila Schulte-Gorski, did you have a couple items you wanted us to cover right now?
Is HR on the agenda now?
Yes,
I was just told I just took cuts, so I just.
Uh-oh, to cut?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, well, if you don't need to, then we're just gonna go in order. That's, you
Do you
know,
need to?
I thought you needed to, I thought I heard a
No, I'll go
rumor.
ahead.
All right, good. All right, so we're gonna start with the Pinewood ERR. What about that? This is open public hearing and closed public hearing. Eric, do you wanna brief us?
Sure, very simple. The Pinewood is, we're looking at trying to do development, trying to finish up that 6-unit building that has been, the exterior has been completed for some period of time, but the inside of the building is all 2x4s, still it's rough. And then also there was the 4-unit building that some time ago had exploded because someone had stolen the tanks and gas leak, and the rest is history. So as we are moving towards trying to finish them and sell them, one of the things that the federal government is requiring of us, HUD in particular, is that we do something called an ERR, because there are federal dollars assigned to that property when it was originally acquired some years ago. We used MSP dollars through Taylor Cares to purchase it. So that put us into a category of having to do certain things from a compliance standpoint, regulatory compliance standpoint. An ERR is an environmental review, and what they're going to do is go in and look at the possible wetlands and is there any frogs that are on the endangered species list, and is airplanes making a certain level of noise as they fly over. It's exactly that. It's an environmental review of the property. The public hearing is to open it up to the whole world, to have folks be able to come to the meeting and say, I'm aware that there is a rare bird that resides there, that where you should not build this condo, and as part of the environmental review, please do research and find out if that bird is there or that butterfly is there. I can't make it up. That's exactly what this public hearing is for. So we open it up. If anyone has any concerns that they want us to take into consideration as we conduct the environmental review, we will take those notes at that time, and then we close the hearing, and then the environmental folks will go in and start doing their survey of the property.
Okay.
That's it in a nutshell.
I have a
Any
question.
questions?
Yes.
Deal.
I received a call about information at the senior center about how the properties at Pinewood are for sale or about to be for sale or
I mean, we're hoping
whatever.
to be. Yeah,
Yeah, and there was including landscaping and so on and so forth. When was that going to be announced to the general public?
well, we're not quite there yet.
But you were ready to put it out to the senior center?
For those that are interested, that we want to start collecting that information as part of the HUD regulatory requirements. Those 11 units have been earmarked for seniors as defined by HUD. And so we are looking to find eligible, interested, potential candidates who may be interested in eventually residing there. They have to comply with all the usual HUD regulations as far as not exceeding, you know, if it's one person in the household, two, husband, wife, so on, you know, whether it be $24,000 a year, $27,000 a year. So we're trying to find those interested candidates and then run them through the evaluation process and then identify whether they meet the criteria and then kind of go through that process. So it is we have several things that are happening simultaneously. John wanted to be here this evening. I'm sure everyone's aware that he had surgery lately, so he was not able to join us this evening. But the project is a Taylor Cares project, and so I'm assisting him in trying to keep the ball rolling.
Okay,